good thing about video, they can always edit it if I have to leave.
So the whole school and football team is wearing and coming out to these.
Thank you.
Aww.
Thank you. You guys are awesome.
Aww.
Thank you.
We got a lot of these shirts ordered and we're selling them tomorrow at school. Everyone's going to be wearing them, just to let you know.
Yeah.
And all the profit that we make from the t-shirts is going into GoFundMe. When we come out tomorrow as a team, he's going to be down the field with your mom and your sister, and you're going to lead us and you're going to walk around as t-shirts. Okay?
We're out here at Fort Jamont West today. We're selling t-shirts for my father who has cancer. And the shirts are selling like crazy. We've already sold 4 boxes just at the lunches. Selling them at the games tonight. It's awesome and my family appreciates the support. We couldn't be more thankful.
You'll get your t-shirt, the BRIANSTRONG t-shirts in support of Gage's dad, who I think all of us know the story right now, fighting cancer. So we want to do everything we can to support Gage and his family. So we're going to wear these t-shirts tonight instead of our dry fits. This is what we will wear out to the game. our job is to teach you guys lessons. This program this week reminded me that football's a game. You guys put in perspective that X's and O's are just a small part of what we do. Being around you guys, this group of seniors, I couldn't be more pleased in the way that you guys have handled yourselves, have supported each other, and this week we have never had a better week in being human beings in this program. I am so proud of you guys and what you've done and what this school has done over the last 2 weeks. Let's go finish it tonight.
And then spell them, please.
Sure. Brian Froneyberger, BRIANFRONEYBERGER.
Okay. And you are, may I ask how old you are?
46.
Would you talk a little bit about your health diagnosis, please?
Sure. It's back in 2015, pretty much unexpected. Just noticed that I had a little bit of a swelling going on in my tonsil area, in my right tonsil. You know, through a little bit of ignorance of my own, I kind of dismissed it as thinking that I would have to get a tonsil removed or tonsillitis or something, and then actually, you know, I kept pretty much, you know, not thinking too much about it. It never really protruded or did anything that was alarming. But however, my lymph node in my neck started swelling, which brought me to a point that, you know, obviously it was of concern. So I went to the urgent care, and she took a look at it and pretty much immediately told me I needed to go see an ENT, which we happen to have a friend of the family who is actually an ENT, and he took me up to his clinic on a Sunday personally, and biopsied my throat for me, and it came back positive for squamous cell carcinoma, which is a type of head and neck cancer. So at that time, you know, I went through the standard of care chemotherapies, which is 2 different chemotherapies, you know, and accompanied by the whole standard of, you know, the nauseousness, the loss of hair, the, you know, the whole stereotype behind what people think about when they think of chemotherapy. Unfortunately, that did not work, and so they decided, you know, to move to radiation. At that time, I did 35 rounds of radiation, which was the standard treatment at that time. And again, while it did recede immediately after stopping radiation, it progressed rapidly, very rapidly, matter of fact, where it blew up probably 150% of what it even, what it even was prior to my radiation. So they did what they called an emergency right neck dissection, where they went in and had to try to remove it surgically. In order to do that, they had to remove 25 lymph nodes. They had to remove my muscle that runs down your neck and controls your shoulder. They removed the nerve that controls your trapezius muscle, which controls your shoulder. So I no longer can raise my shoulder, it rolls forward. And then I also had a 4-inch section of my jugular vein also removed because it was intruding there as well. After surgery, they were very hopeful that they got everything. The first tests came back negative for any cancer existing in the tissue surrounding the surgery. So we were all very hopeful. We went on with our lives, obviously scarred and so forth, but you know, we were happy to be alive. And within 6 months, it had again came back into my throat. I noticed a firmness in the back of my throat. So within 6 months, it was back, and that's when I was re-diagnosed. At that point, I went back in and was re-diagnosed with what they just call incurable reoccurring squamous cell carcinoma, which at that time, again, there was no answers at that time. You become basically a trial because there's nothing that they know of that if standard of care drugs and treatment didn't work, how to treat you. So it's, you know, right now, I mean, I'm just really, you know, fighting to have some success to stay alive as pretty much as long as possible. 2 years ago, as of October, when they re-diagnosed me, just because of the lack of success that they've had with re-diagnosis, they gave me 2 years to live at that point. And that tumor is making its way to my carotid artery. So at this point, you know, we're just trying to find the right drugs or the right therapy or a way to, you know, to slow that down as much as possible. So.
The Fort Zumwalt West High School community and the t-shirt that you're wearing. What has that meant to you?
I can't even start. I couldn't even be, I mean, there's no way to describe what that meant to us or what that has done for us. I mean, just amazing. I mean, God sent, to tell you the truth. I mean, it was, you know, we've always been that family in the house that always hosted all the friends and all the, you know, we'd have kids in the pool, 15 kids at a time, all the time, whether it be my son's friends or my daughter's friends. You know, and I'd be the dad that would always have the frozen pizzas to make for everybody and keep everybody fed, and we always kept the waters and the Gatorade supplied for all the children and all the kids. And, you know, I guess the way that the relationships that I formulated with my son's friends, you know, I mean, all it took was, you know, one idea that, you know, that the Houston family and Geo Houston took, you know, and then spun off with the Ekman family, and they took it and ran with it, and it became this. And it's amazing what they did. I mean, it's truly amazing how the community and the school backed them up to allow this to happen. You know, when you walk into a football stadium and you see, I mean, people that you don't even know, I mean, hundreds of people that you don't know that are wearing a shirt, you know, to your benefit. I mean, they just can't describe the feeling that I had that evening. Right now, I know that I'm not going to be there for my kids. That's very hard to think about. And it's just heartbreaking to me because anybody who knows me, I mean, they know I'm a loving husband, but I'm a dad. I'm a true father. You know, I love my kids. I do anything for them. My heart hurts knowing that I'm not going to be there for them at some point. To be honest, I was very thankful. I was very scared. I wouldn't see my son play senior football. As much of a small token or small momentum setting that is. Honestly, I mean, a year or two ago when they told me I had 2 years to live, you know, football was our passion. You know, Friday nights are my favorite day of the week to go watch my son play football. And I was so scared that I wouldn't see my son's senior year.
And so when you go to the games now, I suspect are very different than when you went to the games before.
Well, they're very different is because, yeah, everybody I look at, I want to thank, honestly. You know, I mean, everybody I look at, I want to thank, and plus I cherish every bit of it. You know, I honestly, I didn't think I'd be here to see it. So yes, it's a very special, it'll be a very special year this year. You know, God bless, I hope that I'm here next year for his college and so forth and so on, but, you know, I'm certainly going to keep fighting to be here, that's for sure.
Are we smiling?
You know, I'm really not frowning, it's just that I can't smile.
And that would be his humor.
They're from
For the
my
family,
parents.
basically.
They're from my parents, and it
Love
says
Dan, Dee, and Tim.
have a
Enjoy your very
wonderful,
special day. We love you.
wonderful day today. Because they know that we're having the different events tonight with the family and with all you guys for the whole fundraising efforts. So
Beautiful.
make a beautiful centerpiece.
So who all's here today?
Well, my birth mother's here, Donna Eakins, my sister, my half-sister Heather, all her children and grandchildren, her first grandbaby, Oliver, and then my grandfather, my grandpa Bullock, which is my mother's father, and his wife Vera.
Wow.
So, and I used to spend a lot of time with my grandpa Bullock when I was younger. He actually has a son. This is a funny story, but he has a son who's actually 1 year younger than I am. So therefore, my uncle is actually 1 year younger than I am. So me and him used to be kind of good buddies, and we used to camp together, ride four-wheelers, stuff like that when we were younger every once in a while. So that's kind of a funny story. But, so my mother's brother is a year younger than her son. So you thought it was weird that we were divorced once, and they got all kinds of weird little
How's
things
that
about
for
the
weird?
family. So
They're beautiful. Look at them.
they're gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you, Daddy and Timmy.
Thank you, Daddy
Love
and
you guys. My dad sent this to me and Donna, just said, enjoy your very special day with family. So,
Yeah.
you know, if it's not one thing, it's going to be your toothpaste, or it's going to be, you know, something else.
Yep.
So, you know what, just live your life.
And then by the time you try to do everything right, then there's something wrong with what you're doing right,
Right,
you know,
right.
so it doesn't.
Exactly.
live your
Yeah.
life, be a good person, and,
Right.
you know,
Pretty
be
much.
happy. Be happy.
So darn cute.
You know how I always, not only, I mean, I remember Grandma eating, obviously, but you know how, what the biggest memory I have?
Right.
Sewing my finger when I was
Oh,
up
yeah,
there.
you got underneath the
Yeah,
pedal.
yeah, and I sewed my finger.
Yeah.
And I still have that scar right here.
Yeah, oh, I know, that's, your dad had a fit.
I don't think I remember her at all.
I don't blame him.
You
I
should,
remember.
we lived with her.
Well,
Well, you were little though, we left when you were 3, so you wouldn't.
Yeah.
so I bet I was 15 or 16. Or,
Oh.
you know, I was in my teens, I remember that. I don't think I was that young, but.
Yeah.
That was Lorraine's brother's name, the one that used to hit the tree with his fist.
Oh, when he was young.
Yeah, when he was young, he thought he was a tough guy, you know.
Oh, yeah,
So
they
if
all
he
thought they
couldn't-
were.
If he couldn't find nobody to punch, he'd go to the park and hit a tree,
Oh.
so his knuckles would bleed.
So when you first told me about this trial, you said that you were gonna have to be hospitalized, so now you don't have to?
No, this is different. I got kicked out of that
Yeah, look at
trial.
him.
See, that's the trial that I was so excited about, because that trial is a possible cure for any type, I mean, for the, you know, for that, the basis of that trial is a cure. I mean, it's, you know, it's not anything else, but, it's a very
See, Donna?
high risk, high reward trial.
Yeah.
But that's
And
the
then
CART
this finger's
South
I
African
have
trial.
that too.
I ended up getting kicked out of that trial because my
This
tumor
man will
progression started involving
go
my
down,
carotid
you know,
artery.
Yeah.
So
But
that
my grandma
disqualified
had
me
that
from
to
that
where
trial.
hers was like
So,
Yeah.
because unfortunately,
Yeah,
I got
my grandma
accepted
Ronnie.
in, but then had a
She
staph
told me
infection on my
when I
scalp.
went- when I
That
went
took
to
2
her-
months to heal that staph infection.
When I got this, I
During
was
that 2
78.
months, a tumor
When I got this, I
progressed
was 78.
into my carotid artery, or
And she
not
said,
into
"Hey,
it,
Grandma."
but
And they-
where it
all
was
these people
interfering
out
with
there,
it.
this rheumatologist
And so
that I
now,
go to, all these
they're
people's out there all purpled
the risk
up and
of
on
that is
walkers and
detrimental
all that,
basically
you know, and
because
when I go in there,
the
I'm
T
crying.
cells that attack the cancer
She
tissues
said,
would then
"You're
attack
the
the same
good guy,
tissues
yes."
if they're right next,
You're not right next to it.
next to the carotid artery.
Well, you know what?
So,
You
but,
don't look nothing like
so I'm
people younger
hoping,
than you even.
I'm hoping and praying, which I don't know if this will happen or
His grandma
not, but if this
had that
trial
so
helps
bad,
reduce
that
that
this is
tumor
when
and it pulls
I
back
was
away,
like 18
then I
years
can go
old.
back and qualify for the
His
other one.
grandma, Betty,
But
she had
I don't
knots
know what
all over
what the
her
realistic,
hands
you
and
know,
her hands were.
chance of that
She
happening
cannot
is,
use
but-
her hands a lot. It's not strong. It says,
Oh no!
you know.
No, it's just like
No! No!
What was he doing?
pumping her leg.
Pumping her leg.
Oh. Hey,
He is so
No.
silly.
No,
Go,
man.
let's
I
go.
see you got one kid, but another.
What do we got going on here?
Well, cooking a little muscatoli for dinner.
Crazy power cooking.
I enjoy my cooking.
Who you got all coming over tonight?
Well, we have everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, but we have basically the individuals and families that were involved in starting the fundraiser that we all are aware of these days, the BRIANSTRONG fundraiser t-shirts. So we wanted to have everybody over for a nice dinner. So that's kind of what we're doing tonight. So just to say thank you. We have the coach of the football team, the two families, you know, yourself obviously, and all the family and the kids. So we can have a big family and community dinner. So. I just wanted to take a second and tell everybody in this room, you know, thank you so much for what you guys have done for our family. I mean, you know, to start out with an idea and for you two to get involved and come up with an awesome design, and you know, it's just amazing what you guys did with, you know, with something such a simple idea, you know, and because, you know, you wanted to do something for us, you know, and we're so appreciative, Coach. We're so appreciative that you took on this endeavor as well and allowed these kids to do it and allowed them to grow, you know, and to put their hearts behind something and put their hearts behind a team engage, you know, a player. And Mr. Ekman, Mrs. Ekman, you know, thank you guys so much for helping organize this and for working so hard to sell these shirts and to back it all and so forth and so on. You know, I don't even know where to start. I mean, a thank you just don't feel, honestly, is even close to enough. I mean, if I could do something else, you know, trust me, I really would, because I would love to. You guys deserve the world. You know, right now, you know, we are in a very tough, not only emotional place, you know, but over the years, you know, we become in a very tough financial place, unfortunately. You know, recently with the downturn of my health, you know, I've lost my income essentially, you know, which put us in a very hard spot. you know, with all the traveling and with all the doctor bills that are you know, have been breaking up for 3 years, you know, it's truly God sent that, you know, that something like this happened, you know, that the idea came along and the community stood behind it. You know, it's just so appreciative. I mean, we are so appreciative to all of you for what you've done. You know, it makes me feel like, you know, I've done something right as far as raising my kids to have, you know, such a great group around surrounding them, and for us, you know, to have such good friends, you know, that want to help us out when we're in this situation. So this is, you know, I love cooking, you know, and we thought we could do just something, you know, something to say thank you, you know. So you know, thank you again, and God bless you all. You know, I honestly don't even know where to start, and I'd go on forever, because, you know, you can't say thank you enough. So, and thank you guys so much, you know, even the younger kids and so forth, for spreading the word around their schools. You know I have the middle school now, I think, wanting to get involved in other organizations, and, you know, my softball team that I coached for Maddie is calling, you know, wanting to get shirts and wanting to get other people, you know. It's really mushroomed, you know, it's really just taken off, and it's just amazing to see a community come together for somebody like even myself that they don't necessarily even know, but just to stand behind this and support it, you know. It's just really made a enormous difference in our life. It really has, you know, to take a little bit of the worry and the ease off right now, when the main concern obviously is what I'm going through health-wise, to be able to help out, you know, enough to where, you know, we don't have to worry right now where the next meal is going to come from, or, you know, how we're going to, you know, get through this month right now. You know, we just want to say again, God bless everybody, and thank you very much. So, all right, I'm gonna let you say your thank you, but.
Well, I wanted to take a second to tell you guys thank you as well. And as you can tell from Brian, you know, we don't really think that there's anything that we can say to each and every one of you, even to Juan and his family, I mean, that are sitting here with us. You know, I look at somebody like them, and it's like, I know that darn C word has touched their lives too. And I'm honored to be in the same room with them. And I think that this is a special family right here. And I know it was the video that he did that brought everybody's attention to us. But I want my children and all of you guys and everybody sitting in this room to be aware that it touches so many people's lives in so many ways. And it's a devastating disease. And we've unfortunately had to feel the ultimate devastation about it, but it's the coming together of everybody who gets together. It's the kids, it's watching their faces and watching them take action on this and think that this is such an important thing, that they're going to stand at school and on the bus and everywhere and just wear this shirt and support somebody who has such a terrible disease in their life. And that's a lesson that I hope every one of these kids and all of us take, in knowing that we're all human beings and we're all worth every ounce of love that we can give to each person that we see and each person's life that we can touch. And Brian has always been that kind of husband that when there was a family in football who was driving 2 hours away to just come play football with us on our little league, because it was an amazing team. And so they drove so far, he said, you guys can stay with us. You can basically live with us when you need to. You can be here all the time. And he's always opened his heart and his home to so many people and wanted to do things for his family, from building fireplaces to other crazy things that he took his time and he would stay up 24/7 to do. And I just want you guys to know that he's usually the one doing that, and for us to turn around and find all these people doing that for us, it just brings you back to what humans are supposed to be, and that's just loving and kind and generous and care about each other. And I hope that everybody walks away from this knowing how much we love them and how kind that we thought this was and how amazing it felt to everybody, and just the joy that it brought all these kids who got involved and all the community that stepped forward, and hopefully it reminds people to do those types of things all the time.
It's felt like the last week and a half has been nothing but tears every night, honestly, because of watching all this emotional, I mean, just, you know, how emotional it has been to us to see it on the news and on the, you know, the video, and to hear about all of our friends that call me that I've not seen since high school that said they've seen the video and they're just amazed by it, and you know, it's just, it is truly amazing. You know, my parents have people, you know, coming out of the woodwork that have seen this, you know. So it just, again, thank you, but let's you know, let's eat, let's have some fun. So
we're about to give Brian his check for the money we raised from the t-shirts. It is, the total amount raised is $6,443.08 so far, and we're not done.
She said, come on, old man. You can fall in this house.
When she doesn't do her eyebrows, they're super flat.
I know, she just likes saying crazy
No,
stuff.
when she doesn't do her eyebrows
Because
are
she's
like
not used to my hair being this blonde. She's like, you look like
Now
you're
has like
blonde.
one eyebrow together. She has half and a half. Tell me I'm wrong. Mama has like two half eyebrows. Now there's two half eyebrows, make one whole.
That's so bad.
sorry.
Oh, you're good. Oh. This is the check, and then this is how much we raised right there so far.
Holy cow, guys. Jeez-o.
We're not done.
Tell there's more shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we just ordered some more.
Seriously, I mean, you know, again, I cannot thank everybody. You know, I cannot thank everybody enough. I mean, this is amazing. It really is. I mean, I wish there was something I could do to really pay you back, but hopefully God will bless me and we'll find a miracle in this, and, you know, maybe being around for a little longer will, you know, will certainly feel like, you know, a success to me. So, so thank you guys so much.
Reflection and connection to it from, oh, my aunt, my grandma, my neighbor, my brother, my sister, whatever. And so you just become a metaphor for like their plight, you know what I mean, your motivation, your inspiration. So stirring that up in people, just you put a face to it all over again. So it's good for you.
And I hope more people can realize that, you know, not to be so proud that when they need help, you know, to reach out, or to, you know, to know that there's people in the community that care. I've always been the one who wants to help and wants to do things for people, you know, not the one who wants to accept things from anybody else, you know. And it just took a lot, and it took me hitting rock bottom, honestly, you know, to give in to that concept of accepting help, you know. Again, here again, thank you. So.
I mean, it's amazing what they've done. They set an example for, when we talk to our kids about it, and what you guys have done is, it's pretty awesome. You know, I said it the other night, and I mean it. I couldn't be more proud of you guys. What you guys have done to the school, the community. It's, you know, we're around kids all the time. You see the good and you see the bad, and it doesn't get any better than this.
Kids get to witness how the family comes together and what it takes to like inspire and motivate and come together and pull everybody's resources together. So as a dad, I am really proud to see them engage like this with the Ekmans and really come together and make something like this happen, even to reflect back on your family and just leaf off of mine, you know what I mean?
And so he walks up and he's,
I still didn't know.
I think he just started filming again. So let's backtrack our story a little bit. So we walk in to the game, and he's looking around. He sees the Ekmans, and he's like, oh, you know, what are they doing? Let's go say hi. And I'm like, well, let's go take a picture at Gage's poster. Let's go take a picture. I'm trying to distract him from it. And she's over there like turning her back to us.
Brian just saw us.
And it was so funny.
Because
but
I had not seen any of the shorts yet, and I had no idea. I just, I couldn't walk by and see you guys standing there and not say anything,
It was awesome. It was so funny.
So from my side of it though, like we're standing there at this table and I'm like, oh crap, he's walking down the hill right now. Like, what is he doing here? And I'm like, he doesn't know about these shirts yet, so maybe they won't see us. I'm like 6'2" standing on the curb already anyway.
It was so funny.
So I see him walk by and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just kind of do one of these things like this and just kind of ignore him. Maybe they'll just walk by. He walks right up to me and I'm like,
I thought you were.
I'm like still trying to hide, man. Like I still don't want him to see me. And he looks at my shirt and he was like, kind of turns his head sideways a little bit, and then he looks down and then. I think the realization of what was happening was, kind of hitting at that point.
Yeah, because I just started saying hi,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I know I've seen Ryan in a little while, but why is he ignoring me? Like, does he not recognize me or what?
You wouldn't say a word at first. It was hilarious. I was like, I think he pretty much wants to be under the table.
I was trying to hide in plain sight for sure, man. I couldn't find out.
I was literally oblivious when I started saying hi, and then that's when I looked down, and because I thought you were just selling Jaguar shirts. Honestly, I just thought you were selling football shirts. And I looked down, and when I read it, it was like, oh my God, and I just lost it.
And I kind of knew from Coach. I'm sorry. I kind of knew from Coach what we were doing too, and it was really funny to extend off that. So he loses it at that point, and then Juan kind of comes out, and I'm like, Maddie, we need to go stand. You're gonna go with your friends, or you're gonna come with us? We're gonna go stand on the field. And she's like, I'm confused. I don't know. I'm like, no, you need to make a decision. We need to go out to the field now, because I knew the boys were getting ready to come out. And she's like, well, I don't know what. I'm like, just make a decision.
I didn't know what she was talking
We
about.
gotta be all our friends. I'm like,
I was like, what are we going on the field?
I'm like, you gotta do something. And so she's like, oh my gosh, I'll go on the field with you then. And I'm like, okay. And so we get out there, and then they realize what was really going on, and it was awesome. But I had a couple battles I had to fight to get in there. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, it's so hard to keep a secret.
Today's day and age, when Gio's like, this is going to be a surprise, I'm thinking to myself, there is no way.
The pressure of the whole thing was that we came up with this idea, 9 days. We had 9 days to get this done.
Yeah.
And so we wanted it to be a surprise. We want to be a surprise to your family, to Gage, to you, and everything. And we were like, okay, how do we start to grow this thing but still keep it a secret, especially with like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat and this and that. And then these two, without anybody even seeing a shirt, come back home with like over 200 purchase orders for shirts the next day.
My whole school knew, and they're like not even part of the high school. And I was like, how did you guys know?
She knew.
I didn't even know.
Somehow she knew before Gage and him knew.
You
Well,
weren't.
yeah,
You
I was like, how
You
did
weren't
that
even
even
in high school.
happen?
Yeah, I know. I
And
didn't even
yet
feel
we
like-
still managed to
How did
keep
someone
it
slip to
secret.
you and not to Gage? It was my. I didn't
It
get
was
it. How did
so
my friends
crazy.
slip
Yeah.
and Gage just didn't?
It was so crazy.
I was
But it
for
was
sure
super
more.
awesome.
And it might help that I don't leave the house anymore, so.
We just sold out of shirts for Brian, and we are taking donations now though.
Yes, and we sold out of shirts, and so we're glad we got to help and do our part. In the end, football's just a game, so we're glad we get to help.
Yeah.
I was just saying that
by Susie, and
this is something that probably fell out of a book, but it's mostly your side of the family.
Yeah.
Like the O'Briens and Ryan and Brian are mostly in here. There's a picture of me right here.
Yeah.
Actually, did you see that one?
Well, sure.
These are like
And then
He was not really
yes,
good.
he was
Come on.
very okay for me. He was really,
He
really
was not
good.
really good.
In my version, he's really good.
In your world,
in your
I was really good.
Do you know I played that stupid cello just because you did?
You
You played the cello too?
I played the cello.
In
I
your
did
world,
play the
I don't
cello,
remember
but
that
I
either.
only played it because Brian played it.
I don't remember either of these playing.
Hey, you know what that translates to, Chris?
What?
The reason you played it was right because we already had it. That's the same reason.
Somebody's got to play this thing.
That's right. That's the same reason she played. What'd you play?
Oh, I played the trumpet.
Trumpet, because Gage played it. Because Gage played it for about. Gage played it for about 2 months and gave up.
I honestly don't remember that.
And we already had it.
I think I spent more time carrying it back and forth to school than I did playing.
I thought that was a guitar.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oversized guitar.
You'll grow into it. I swear you'll grow into it.
Wait, Mom, you
Yeah, this is
I did.
That's
Brian
Dad's
probably played the cello, so
girlfriend
it was so
before
big we
he
couldn't
got
get on the
married.
bus
Yeah.
to get driven to school.
I carried
That's
that
right.
thing walking back and forth from both.
he can't get over his shirt.
What?
Check that out. Check that out.
You get good money for those now.
Who is that?
Yeah.
That's me.
That's you.
That's,
You
that,
kinda
that, that's
like
me.
Gage.
That's
Oh
the same.
my
That's the same as in that picture. I just have a hat
Me?
on.
No.
Right.
How big was my hair?
Oh, yeah.
Brian, your
All
hair
our
was almost
hair.
as big as mine.
Chrissy's pigtail.
That's my
Wait.
hat.
Oh yeah.
That was funny.
Oh yeah. Hey guys.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Grandpa.
This is the picture that I was like, if I would have met you then, no, definitely not.
I'm trying to find
No.
because these are newer.
Bon Jovi look right there. All right.
John Bon Jovi, John Bon Frony.
Oh, this was the when we went out there with you guys for Easter or something. I remember that. Yeah.
Well, we called it the castle.
It was up north in Illinois.
This
In northern Illinois, where they took us all
Christy,
for like Easter. We
Dad,
stayed there one night.
Grandpa,
Hey,
and
mine
this
was
is their
like-
two friends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's your two
That
friends
was
on the
like-
end right
I mean,
there,
this place
right?
did too.
That's that looks like grandma, but that's not grandma.
No.
I don't know.
Whoever it is your age.
Goes around to them so they can see.
And this is just a skinny me.
Oh, that's in. Is that in?
Theirs look like grandma.
Can I see it?
It could be. It could be.
That's funny. This is Eric.
She looks, whoever it is, looks young, younger than you. That's not possible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Even the guy looks,
old enough to be
even the
grandma.
guy
Yeah,
looks
that's
younger
right.
than you.
Yeah, I'll save that for a little bit later.
No.
Here's grandma right there.
Weird.
No.
What is he wearing?
Here, show that to Dad. That's Grandma Fronyberger right there.
This one's Grandma Fronyberger.
And here's Grandma and Grandpa Fronyberger.
And then here's another Grandma and Grandpa.
That's the best picture.
That's
We
rude.
really love your outfit.
That's where
That's rude. That's already, but yeah.
Oh my, look at that one.
Was that
Yeah, I'm gonna start over here and let's work our way over there. There you go. There's a family shot of all of us.
Oh my gosh.
I remember this one. I remember it used to hang on the wall downstairs.
I still fit in that vest.
Look at that.
No.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh.
Unbelievable.
And I guess let's just make sure
I-
it all
I
goes
know.
down this way.
Oh my gosh.
I'll make sure they hand over here first.
Okay.
She said she found a picture of me and
Show
Fred.
Daddy that one.
But I didn't
Yeah.
So we just permed the back of your hair back then?
There's an old picture of Dad.
Yeah, the front was like just kind of straight and the back was all curly. That was the look. That was 1985 in a can.
Are you sure that was a look?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we thought it was
Can you hand that one
the
around?
curly back of the hair.
There's baby me.
Is that Dad?
There's baby me right there.
Oh my gosh.
This is me right here.
It was like a mullet gone wild.
Holy cow, Chris.
What?
In this, she looks just like Issa, doesn't she? Doesn't it look just like Issa?
Me with my boogie board.
Oh, he would be one of the
Aunt Christy. She looks just like Issa.
Oh, grandma and grandpa. Yeah.
I can see you doing it. You nod it. You nod like 2 seconds. I have to
I do, I know.
Christy and
Oh my gosh.
And is that Tara?
Yeah, it's grandma and grandpa.
Tara when she was a puppy?
This is my father. My father from just after looks like college age, just after high school.
Yeah, because Matt hasn't had it.
Yeah. You guys
Right 23, left side.
Yeah, I'd like to
And this here, it's that guy right there.
Sit on that thing.
That's your senior picture. That was on your name.
Mom, we've already seen this. Okay.
Here's a good history picture here of the whole family at Christmas.
Yeah, that's gotta be at Grandma's house.
Yeah, I think grandma.
That's a
Grandma
good
Bernie
one.
Berger.
That's a good one.
Yeah, we've wanted to.
Look how cute you were, Brian.
Right?
I know, he's so cute.
Oh, doing pinch his little cheeks. I always, when I see those, I think of Boogie.
Yeah, Bug.
Bug and Boogie. Yeah.
Bug.
Yep.
This was at Ruth and Mel's house out in West St. Louis.
Yeah, because they're bent. Everything went down.
Yeah. I'm squeezing the corner and Cheryl and Dad.
And then the nickname is Boogie.
He's sitting here going, look at those shorts. I'm like, Gage, I can see
They're the same size.
Here's a very faded picture, but me and Aunt Cinda when I was young.
It's got them all.
It's got everybody.
Yep, Aunt Cinda, Uncle Kurt, the kids.
Yep. Look at that hair.
I think the only one not in it is Amy because that's Eric. So she
wasn't here yet.
Not here yet.
And Jimmy's, in Jimmy's uniform.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that who that is?
That's what everybody's
Well, that's who it looks like, but it's way too young.
glasses.
That looks way too young.
That looks like Olivia.
That's way too young.
That's your mom shoved in there.
Oh, she was?
That's me
Oh, that's
shoved
probably
in
why
Uncle
then.
Jimmy's
I didn't realize that.
uniform.
I guess it was.
I think
that's Ruth.
I did not realize that she was that young.
I know, look at
I love you too, honey.
What? Probably maybe a 6 or 7.
He used to play football?
No, they just like to dress me up sometimes.
Well, this is at 81, so
That's what?
I was the youngest, did I mention that?
it's just great school pictures.
That's awesome.
Oh my god, I forgot about the tail.
The tail.
Look at
I
that
forgot
one.
about the tail, Brian. You had that one for a while.
Oh yeah.
The rat tail.
Yeah.
This was your tail.
Yeah.
I know,
Okay,
right?
stop.
Hey, that was the 80s.
That's right.
In my
You
defense.
won't stop licking.
You got the spike in the
He's a
front.
licker. You're a licker, baby.
Yeah, if you need to put him somewhere.
Oh, he
Oh,
I'm gonna.
oh, and the part,
There you
Brian.
go.
I love
Lay
that
down.
one.
Part. That was pre-swept back.
It was.
Yeah, this is when we all went to Florida.
Oh my
to Disney
God.
and all that.
You gotta flip the hair.
Check that.
I loved the part and then it just pushed.
Oh, when he went like that?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Make sure they get it behind
Who convinced him about the tail, though? Was that you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I actually used to stop it.
It's like a mullet with a tail, actually.
The tail made a great place to grab and try to run along.
Oh, yeah, I think that was the same as
Oh, he did too, and he'd try to get away and you'd snack it.
No, do not lick it.
Jim, you're in this one with Grandpa, and that's Ryan.
They had the trucker hat and everything.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wait, where were we on this
That was
one?
Epcot.
I was just going to say that was Florida.
It's in Disney.
And Chris.
Hey, Josh.
Here's you.
Dad's truck driver hat.
There's Chris in one with Grandpa.
Oh, there we
Yeah, we'll get
are.
there eventually.
I know, I keep telling you.
You gotta be on the lookout for it. Oh yeah, I remember that sweater.
Oh, here's the large shot of that. The large family picture.
Here's your mullet, Bri.
Those go together.
My lord.
Mullet, party in the back.
Boom.
Was that when they lived with us, though? You remember when
Probably.
Aunt Donna?
So, Gage, when you wonder
Oh,
where you got
that's
your teeth from, Gage and Maddie, there you go. There
Yep,
it
right
is.
there. There's
Right
the
there, baby.
That's
There's
the
me and
teeth.
Grandpa Bernie Berger.
That's your teeth. Look at that. That is so awesome. It's more like.
You got a
I
white sweater on with color on it.
It's black with stripes.
So you want to pass those down?
So clearly you did not get your teeth from me. Sorry, son.
Yeah, Mom, you had really good teeth.
I did.
With the grill.
You got your hair from me and your teeth from Dad.
All metal. If they could, if only
Yes.
they
This was our cowboy days. What made us like? We were not cowboys. We were not cowboys. None of us wore hats. I don't know why y'all dressed us up like that.
Hey, that's what got Susie. Donna, that's what got Susie. The sweater and the beard.
Brian and his dad in their original cowboy hat.
Right? Brian.
Yeah.
Josh, where we are.
That's hilarious.
My first memory of Dan.
That's awesome.
Pulling up in the white Corvette and getting out and having that.
That's the Monte Carlo.
The white
Look
Monte
at
Carlo and
that.
the white Corvette.
Yep.
I remember when I was selling Monte Carlo.
Oh.
Came by to look at it or something, and they said, "Well, why are you selling?"
Yeah.
So I went over, opened the garage.
Is that me, Jim, and Chris?
Oh, I was like, who in the world? I'm like, is there a third brother I don't know about?
Yeah.
So that's great grandma Slavens.
That'll get over there. Here, Chris.
Yep.
My very first
Oh
year.
God. Oh my God.
You're like a foot higher than here.
Thank you.
There's Bri.
He's like, you're like way higher than everybody.
And then there's me. I just dive off the edge.
Let me see.
Do you remember when they used to stand up on top of here and dive into our very shallow pool?
No, we never did. No, we never did that. I should be 6'4". That's the reason I'm not. That's the reason from hitting the bottom of that pool.
How many times do you think you almost got drowned in that pool?
Oh, yeah. Many times.
Exactly. Brian can hold his breath longer than anyone.
With a hand on my head.
Well, yeah.
Right.
With my hand on my head.
Where's Brian? And you're just moving like
I thought for sure he was going to kill him.
Okay. I have a picture downstairs where I was going to homecoming or something, and you and I were standing next to each other, and we both had the big hair.
Yep. Can't tell where one of us stops and one starts.
Right. Yep.
That's what I said.
Jason Paulson.
Yeah.
All right. Then we're transitioning kind of to high school.
We'll go that one first.
We're transitioning to high school.
I have one of those already.
Yeah. This was literally when I went from a pudgy 6th or 7th grader to a beanpole 8th or 9th grader. I shot up like 8 inches and and had the same weight, so I was skinny as a rail at like 135 pounds.
Number 77.
That was me.
That was Jimmy. Yeah.
I'd say this is probably the next transition
Oh, and
right
Grandma.
here.
That's a good one.
I think that's about the next.
God, you were so freaking skinny in this one, Brian.
I don't know who that is either.
Anybody know who
That's Grandma Fronyberger and
I
Brian.
was just guessing maybe it's Jenny.
I was
Jennifer.
wondering, but she's pretty
Jenny.
young.
But
I don't know.
Yeah,
I thought,
but that
I
picture's
thought
from
maybe.
Arnold.
Oh my God.
So was it a
Got
neighbor?
the earring going.
Help their old man.
Got red hair. Yeah, it's Kelly.
There's too much of an age difference, isn't there, between Kelly? I know.
Yeah.
Look at the stash he's got going here.
Let me see.
Where?
Oh, this is classic.
Let him take a picture of that.
You're gonna need this one on film
This
for
is
all
the same
to see.
mustache you
What?
can grow right now.
I need to see.
Oh,
How old is he right here?
Oh my
How
gosh.
old is Brian in that one? Let me see this one.
Looks like a beach bum.
Around there.
Oh, look at the glasses. The solid glasses with no bar in the middle.
All the way around.
Oh yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, that was post-perm. Definitely.
Definitely post-perm.
Yep.
You got a perm.
What ride were we on? We were at the theme park here. Oh, I thought that is that a Speedo?
That's a Speedo.
Oh my God, I forgot you wore a Speedo.
Do you have naturally curly hair?
That's a Speedo.
Oh no.
My
those are
brother's in a
perms.
Speedo. I think I blocked that out.
We used to do perms about once a month.
Part of your trauma as a kid.
So big.
Him and Farrell and
Jimmy would get
I
a
gotta
spot.
go to Grandpa first.
Here's your husband in a Speedo.
That's hilarious. What happened to your butt?
Brian, what happened to your butt in this picture?
Those are all sophomore, junior.
Wait,
It's always been big, so I don't know.
This is our wedding.
He has no butt. Maddie, that's where you get your butt from.
Yes, that's
Wow,
ninth
thanks,
grade
Mom.
formal.
Really, thank
That's
you.
the ninth grade formal at Eureka.
Yeah.
Like I haven't been told enough.
Eureka's 9th grade formal.
Yeah.
Where I got my butt from.
And all the hair.
Don't you love it? I love the hair.
That's
I couldn't get.
This is Jimmy and Susie's wedding.
Yeah,
Was that the
like
holy
it.
shirt?
Look,
That was the
under
holy
the-
half shirt.
Yeah, that's under
Oh,
the
yeah.
jacket.
The sweater
Yeah.
over the top of it.
Yes.
That's the scene. That's my
It was
scene.
the holy mesh see-through shirt.
Who is that?
It was a crop top shirt. But he covered it with a sweater, so it was good for pictures. Seriously.
Hey, Josh.
Joshua.
Now bring your fist up real slow.
That's his senior picture.
One, that's prestige portraits. It's the same place as Gage is having his pictures done.
Not the last one he bought.
He put his sweater up.
That is not the only fishnet shirt.
Gage, your dad is wearing a fishnet shirt in this picture.
Can I see it?
Oh my God.
I had another senior picture.
And poor Susie. Susie's over here with a scarf on and everything because she's embarrassed that you got fishnet on your chest.
I had a senior picture. And then I think
I remember all those.
This is after I cut my hair off.
He might stop.
This is in college after I cut my hair off. And I went through the grunge look where I used to wear a headband with a kind of a longer
over the top.
Longer over the top type of hair.
I think we have a dance
No, I mean they know who
that
but they don't like to know.
we went to because we ended up at some of the same dances.
Sure, right.
That you wore the headband thing
Right.
to the dance
Formal type
with
thing?
the
Yeah.
yes.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
And thank God,
Yes.
by the time I met you, you look like this.
Yep. And
He was sexy.
this is what I'm at.
Yeah, I had.
Miami Vice era.
Yeah. Then this would have been probably.
It's far beyond Miami Vice.
Oh no, no, this is
I didn't
You're gonna see my.
Miami
You picture him
something.
in a big cigarette boat when you look at that picture.
It's Miami something.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yep,
funny.
that's the look. And then he wore the big thick headband.
That's funny.
There's no station.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
so it's,
That's Surfer Brian.
Don't tell. Don't
Oh,
tell.
I can tell stories. Yeah, you can tell
Oh,
stories.
I love stories.
I love stories.
But that's right before I met him.
Well, and I don't know if Brian's kids.
Okay, wait.
Oh,
What?
Okay, Jimmy has a story.
now you gotta tell. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now you have to
Brian
hear.
was my beloved little brother, you know, growing up, and you
Sure.
oftentimes pick on little brothers sometimes.
Never.
I did once,
Smash their face
maybe
and
twice.
just spit in their mouth.
But for a long time,
Hang
he
on,
thought
hang on.
like things would slip his mind and he'd forget about things. And he still might not even know I did this. But when he used to make sandwiches, he would like put stuff on his sandwich and turn to go to the refrigerator, and I would take the cheese off of his sandwich and I'd put a new piece back on it with plastic
With
still on
plastic in it.
And he'd make the sandwich and he'd take a bite and he's like, dang it, I forgot to take the plastic off.
He did it to you all the time.
And this went on for years. It's just like, I always forget to take the plastic off.
No,
And
you
it's
did.
like,
You're just telling the good version of it. You're not talking about the ones that you probably licked and put back on my sandwich.
look at this belly. If I'm going to lick it, I'm going to eat it.
I look at it's going
I
in.
lived in Vegas.
Oh, it is.
These two pictures are from right before we got married when I lived in Vegas. But you were
It's the Dan stash.
It is. Oh, where's the one of Dad?
We'll have to
Look, here's one of him.
Oh
Here
yeah,
you
that'll be
go.
a good side by side.
Here you go.
There you go.
Boom. Nope.
So
she
this
snagged
was
it.
literally
Check it.
right before we
Yeah.
got married in
That's
1998. It's 7/26/1998.
Yeah, no, I seen the date on it.
I
yeah.
forgot he did
So that's
that.
That's why I was
literally 1
asking
year
when we
before
got
we
married.
funny.
That's
I
why
was
I was
I
asking.
lived in
That's
Vegas when
awesome.
you guys.
We're all in
Will
here
you
telling
stop?
stories and
Dude just
pictures
keeps
of Josh
licking
just
me
in there.
over and over.
Are you not being
I'm getting
Did you see that one?
So many words I can't say in all these things. Yeah, you're on camera.
Yeah, you're on camera. Don't forget.
Oh, wow. Big move.
Not in any of the pictures. Juan won't take my picture, so I ain't.
You and Dustin were in a picture when we just passed by.
Yeah, you were apple picking.
There's a picture.
There you go.
There you go.
This is Gage.
Yep.
Wow.
This was a.
This was when my girlfriend came to the hospital and she goes, "Oh, I thought you had the baby already." And I was like, "Bitch, we will throw down right here." Because they had all that Pitocin in me, and remember how swelled I got? It was so crazy. Yeah, it was so funny. And Brian was pretty swell too.
Yeah, no, that's what
We
I
were
said.
swell
Yeah.
together.
That's when I had. I
We
told
were swell
people-
mates.
I told everybody that I gained my baby weight too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. It
Chuck,
happens.
where's Chuck at? He's right behind you. Chuck.
Here you go. Here, we'll have to pass that around just because.
Yeah.
What is that one? That is awesome, isn't it?
Oh, man.
I don't think I see him. I think I see him.
Dad might get in trouble.
I think I see
What?
him. Let me see him.
That's classic. That is classic.
Oh yeah!
Oh, it's coming around, baby.
A beer and smoke. That's how we roll.
That is how he rolls.
Oh, showing this to your grandchildren.
But look at the hands too. It's like the
Oh my
booze and the
God.
smoke.
So I think Dad could get in trouble from that one.
Oh my God.
Isn't that funny?
Look how muscular you are there, though.
He was very muscular. actually.
Yeah, he was.
That would be the greatest thing ever.
With a cigarette in his mouth, a beer in his hand, and a whole pack of cigarettes in his hand. And here's the best part: is they're menthol. Yeah, you can tell by the color. You know, the green packages were menthol.
I was a Marlboro man. That's pretty wild.
That wasn't you, was it? In the car with us.
Thank you for bringing it.
That was great.
That's an awesome pic. Gage, here's where you get your biceps, but you gotta ignore the bad influence that Grandpa Froningberger is gonna give you for 5 seconds of your life.
You only can do that once.
Here's what here's what's not to do. Here's what not to do.
That's during the 70s
That's
when,
crazy, isn't it?
everybody smoked and smoking was the thing to do.
It was. Everybody did. It was thought to be
That's-
normal.
They even made candy cigarettes. Exactly. It was all
Candy
trying
trigger.
to influence you to smoke back
Remember
then.
those one candy cigarettes that used to like literally puff?
Yeah, I was saying you could blow it and it would puff the sugar
Yeah.
out.
That was hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah, we should have went that
Well,
way.
brother, you were sexy even in your holy
Oh
shirt.
yeah.
And I found out, so when we were younger, and all my friends would come over and spend the night and insisted on sleeping downstairs, and I didn't think anything about it. And then I found out.
I don't know where you're going, but
No, I found out years later
It's because
from
you had
them
my brother.
because he would get up before us and shower and get ready and walk from the bathroom to his room with a towel on. And I found out years later, I was like, well, I just thought y'all like sleeping down here. No,
It's much
it was
cooler
to see your
downstairs.
brother. Walk from one spot to the other.
Right.
So they all thought you were hot.
We'll pretend that I didn't have a 5-year girlfriend that I met that way.
Yeah, he did date my
Yeah.
friend for 5 years. That wasn't weird at all. So
The place I met her was when we went to Rocky Ridge
Yes.
on a family vacation weekend, and she came with you.
Yes.
That's how it happens.
yes,
That's the first
You crashed the
kiss.
We
what?
didn't crash it. We just got stuck.
Really,
Really, really well.
we
It
may
was
have.
Grandpa's International.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did.
Took it out in the woods and got it stuck.
Got it stuck in the woods.
Really stuck.
I remember
Really
Farrell, and it was, I think Farrell was with us, and
I love his sunglasses.
and I had somebody, a friend
Yeah,
with,
friend
with
too,
us
yeah.
too, because we each had
Who
a friend
was
go
it?
with us.
It was.
I don't remember who I had.
Was
it
it
might have been
No,
Nick.
Hensel.
Susie Hensel.
Mike Hensel.
Oh, you know what? I bet you it was.
It
Mike
was
Hensel.
Mike Hensel
Yeah.
because the next day we rode motorcycles and I know I rode on the
Gotcha.
back.
Dad, you'll get all
Yeah, we were very stuck.
About 3 miles stuck in the woods.
Yeah.
In the middle
Are
of
you
nowhere with
serious?
all of us
Oh,
just
yeah.
standing around. The road had washed out,
You know
so it
there's
was
probably
like
truck
a
right there, too.
rut.
Yeah,
You
the
guys
whole
were
front,
like,
the front tires fell
yeah,
off.
and we were like standing in it like
Gone.
this
Yeah.
high.
It's amazing.
I
when
think
they
he-
break the windshield.
With her head.
My head hit the
My
dashboard.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Mine
right.
hit the
Kiss me so
dashboard.
bad. No,
Maybe it was Susie. That wasn't
Yeah.
Farrell. It was
That
Susie.
you guys
Yeah,
made
Susie.
me push the gas to get it back
Yeah.
out so that they could.
one.
I
We
was
were-
the
we were like
smallest,
lifting and
youngest
digging
one,
and
so
everything
they were
else.
like, "Here, you
You
sit
have
here
to
and
be
put your
there.
foot on the gas."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know.
That sold me on Scouts. That truck came out of there, and no other truck on the planet, I think, would have came out.
Oh my god.
It was awesome. We learned how to lasso.
Oh, I don't remember that, but
Did you block that out?
Yeah.
Probably
When we would make you
did.
guys ride by on your bikes,
Right.
It's like, go by on your bike. And and pull them off of their bikes. Then it's like, that's going to get them hurt. Just run by. We don't want you to fall off your bike. Just run.
Oh my gosh.
It was during that era
Back
of,
in a Speedo again.
No, that's no Speedo.
That's no Speedo. That's a banana hammock.
That's what you call a
banana hammock.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh my God.
Christy, did you take those?
Actually, Sherry, yeah.
Who did?
It wasn't me.
Really?
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow, he the man.
Is he sure? Yeah.
Those were leading up to competition. That's what they were showing the phases.
I would say I was there for that, but she took the picture.
Scarred.
Look away.
Look away.
Those were leading up to my competition.
Now
that I
you're
did.
gonna get scarred. I do remember going out to eat after that.
Oh, I'm sure. And
Because
I
you
probably
were
tried to eat everything.
starving.
I probably tried to eat everything.
Well,
but
because I think before that you were.
I just wish it didn't come out so.
You're in caverns.
Yeah,
that's the bad thing about the caverns.
Start working out, buddy.
I think you too could wear a banana hammock.
You could wear a banana hammock.
Yeah, the way the styles are going, you never know.
Right? Christy, you laugh, but tomorrow morning when Joe's in the basement with the weights,
Do you want to say something to close us out?
I need to take a nap.
I would love to say, real fast, I would love to say, thank you so much, number one, Mom, for bringing those pictures, because those bring back a lot of memories. And I'm sure I'm going to get emotional.
It's okay.
Here for a second, right? But I love each and every one of you guys. So, you know, obviously, we're a step family, but you are my family. I mean, you guys have always been my family.
there ain't no step about
You know,
it.
that's right. That's right. I mean, we were raised
No step
together.
about it.
Just a
You
step
know,
in the right
we were raised
direction.
together. You know, so I don't say step brothers. You know, it's always brothers and sisters, and you know, lots of great memories. You know, and you know, obviously, you know. I mean, in our past, you know, when you're kids, you're kids. But I tell you what, I appreciate everything that used to torture me because, hey, seriously, because it made me who I am today.
Yeah.
You know, it made me,
Pretty much.
it made me stronger. You know,
you only do it to the ones you love too.
Well,
so.
and, you're guilty of it too. So.
That's what I do. Your butter spaghetti bread. Yes, I am. Squish.
I'm just saying. You know, I'm just saying. You know, it's sibling stuff, and it just, you know. It's awesome because it makes you who you are, you know. I mean, it made me, you know, it made me a stronger guy, you know, to have a big brother like you know, and big sister, and, you know, and then it let me take some stuff out too, because I had a little sister.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Here, this will be our boxing ring. This blanket on the floor. Yeah.
Right.
I remember that.
Yeah, that sounds like something like Jim would. Here, yeah, this will be the boxing. I'll be on my knees,
So
but
it's fair.
you know, so it's fair. Oh, that levels the playing field. But I mean, honestly, we have so many good memories. You know, I mean, you know, there were some fun ones in there. You know, I remember hitting you with a spoon in the
Oh,
elbow
you
or
remember
something.
that?
I remember that.
Swelled it up.
I smacked her with a like a tablespoon and hit her right on the elbow here.
Just
like little bitty knot, like so it swelled up. And,
I remember
so,
taking
you
my
know,
little brother sled riding.
Oh my God.
Putting him on the biggest
I don't
hill out
think
there.
anybody will forget that.
He'll be
I know Dad
fine.
won't forget that.
As he comes
Remember,
up
he comes
with his
up
arm,
with his arm, and his arm's got a
dangling.
big drop in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think it's broke.
It literally.
I'll never ever forget though, because
It literally looked like this.
he's flying down this hill. And I told him, I said,
Yeah.
if you're gonna hit the fence, just roll off the
It
sled
went
into the snow.
straight, dipped down,
And he's
went
going
straight.
about 80 down this hill, and I'm yelling, and I'm
Roll
like,
off,
roll off, roll off, and the last thing I hear is, how? Wham! And he hits this fence. It's like, oh,
He put the arm up to protect his face like that, and it took about a 2-inch piece out right there, and just went, whoop, dropped right down.
And when we got back to the house, and Mr. Wizard over here, Dad, just happened to be home, so he goes running downstairs, cuts a piece of drywall, the exact shape, wraps it around, and literally I had a
The
cast.
emergency room tried to hire me.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I was fixed up, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, literally, I had a whole splint and everything, and
Yeah, but then the St. Louis County cop came in right after that and asked how it all happened. You know?
I was down getting a soda then.
Yeah. Do you feel safe at home?
Yeah, like twice. If not.
That's one.
We just walked up and Dad goes, "What did you do?" I'm like, "I didn't do anything." He wanted to ride the sled, I swear.
And you said the biggest hill out there. It probably was, but it couldn't have been too tall because it was that hill behind Lavin's house, right?
Well, no.
Oh, all the way by the street. Oh, Jimmy.
I went down it 2 or 3 times first to pack it down, so it was nice and tight and fast. And then he's like, "I don't ride." Girl's like, "You think he can ride?" I'm like, "He'll be fine."
He's tough.
Yeah.
But,
Lord.
oh, we used to get shot
is
by
that
BB
what
guns all the
happened?
time.
I got hit right here.
Yeah.
Right between the eyes by him.
We used to have BB gun fights. Don't ever, kids,
Yeah.
do not do this.
Don't do this at home.
But me and Ricky would get the 1 pump ones, and him and Farrell would get the 10 pump
Yeah.
ones, and they'd promise.
We'd swear.
We're only pump it one time. Yeah, right. That never happened. Right.
Yeah. It's far
next
away.
day-
Hang on.
The next day we'd have
A little farther.
purple welts all over our body. You know, I do remember that.
No secret.
That was
No
world.
secret.
Did you fall for all that stuff so many times?
No, we
What
enjoyed
is
it.
wrong with you? I
It
mean, did you not learn from the 15 first experiences you just discussed?
Oh, it'd be summertime out, and he'd have a parka on. Just because it wouldn't hurt as bad when you get shot with a big thick coat on.
What the hell is wrong with you?
There was just no shooting in the face.
10
And
times
we
into
wore,
it, you still believed him?
We wore safety goggles.
More safety goggles.
We protected our eyes.
I did often wonder how many
Hey.
times you and Ricky would go back and
I was
play
already-
football
Do it again.
or
I
go
know, right?
swimming or any of that. And I thought, oh, damn, he's doing it again.
We'd go back for
Here
more.
goes the boys.
I don't know. You guys just made me be the referee, and I just sat on the side going,
not ever eat one or get it in the eyeball. I don't know.
Accuracy.
Well,
Well, what's really great is like him and Ricky would get the pump guns first, and somehow we'd talk them out of it. It's like, okay, you guys can have the pump guns, but they're really hard to reload fast. If you want to reload fast, these just cock and go, man. And somehow we'd talk our way out where they'd have the old Red
Yep.
Riders.
right. We
We
had
had
the
the
ones. We had the ones where you had to.
DZ.
We had the ones where you had to aim 5 feet above their head to hit them.
Come down.
They're lobbing BBs in, and I'm cutting him down as he's running. It's like,
Right.
oh, you're down.
what about the bottle rocket
still
fight?
catch
Oh,
up?
yeah. Between that and the firework
The
wars.
bottle rocket.
Firework wars.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We had lots of
Roman
those.
candles.
We had lots of those.
They would shoot things at
You gotta
each
really be
other.
quick.
You gotta be
We gotta have some fast.
Why do you think he was so good at football? He had lateral movements like nobody.
That's what I said.
Lateral moves.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's where that whole thing comes from.
That's why he's the
Or
whole.
Or blows a finger off.
Oh, I had one.
They
got all my
just got
digits.
lucky.
I still got all my.
All digits, both eyes.
They
I
just
know,
got
look at
lucky.
We're good.
Yeah, and that's probably, I think that's the only bone I ever broke in my body was my arm. So.
Wow.
Considering it was snapped in half
Yeah.
and
Both of them.
shoved to
Two
the
spots.
side.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Two spots.
Yes.
Boom.
All right.
Yeah,
So I
that
know
was
everybody's
wicked.
hungry, but anyway, I just want to say I love everybody to death. Obviously, so many great memories. Growing up, now past 10, 20 years of everybody growing their own families. It's all been just awesome. You guys have always been here for me. Chris, even recently, obviously, you've been here a lot for me. Making trips to Houston with me. Taking care of me. I always tell everybody, I said, well, I think, how awesome you are at nurturing, but I think it comes from experience, I think, but,
That's all.
she's been
17
so good.
kids later.
Right.
Oh, wait,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
seven.
I got to
Right.
watch you throw up all the way to the airport.
Yeah. Hey, yesterday, unfortunately.
Well, you're part of the family too now, Chuck.
That's how we christen.
That's how we christen.
Yesterday, unfortunately, I had to have somebody bring me home from Madison's cheer game, and I decided to throw up in her car all the way home too. So.
The poor kid in the back.
Yeah, her son was in the back, and
Grant
yeah,
in the back, and I'm like,
supporters, yeah, family friends, and Gage has a buddy, and Maddie's age also. She cheers for that team, but anyway, all the way home I was getting sick and
I don't know how you got on that plane.
Yeah, luckily, well,
You threw up all the way to the airport.
It was empty.
It was empty.
When it happens, it passes, and then I feel better, you know. And luckily, I always carry something with me, so I don't make a mess in anybody's car. So.
You're good. He's thoughtful that way.
Yeah.
He is thoughtful that way.
But anyway, I just want to, you know, thank everybody for all their help during all this time, and you know, and all the help during this time, you know, which is very tough, obviously, on everybody. But it's good times like this that, you know, that we all live for, you know. So, you know, and we're doing this so, you know, if something does happen, we all have something to look back on, you know. So I appreciate everybody coming out and, you know, and hanging out and sharing the good memories. And, you know, like I said, even though we're very close and we see each other, you know, a lot. I mean, we do. We see each other several times a year, holidays and everything else. You know, it's been great seeing everybody as often as I have, you know, in the last few months, weeks, and so forth. So, but anyway, love everybody. I wanted, because, you know, he wasn't in a lot of those pictures, but I want to make sure that we get him, you know, in this video as well. So, because he's been my brother for the last,
He's part of the glue.
Like 20-something years, so. Yep. He's definitely part of the family.
Oh, shoot. I'm the same size I was in 1990.
With pads.
BRIANSTRONG, baby! Ah!
He was just big with pads. There's no grass stains on it.
I think I was telling Brian this the other day. Coaches have wireless headsets now.
Number 25.
Wireless headsets? I wouldn't have had a job because I was the one to follow the coach around holding his cord. so he didn't trip over it.
I know there's not even a grass stain on this thing.
I washed it.
Name one professional football player with the number 25.
I'm sure there's a kicker out there somewhere.
These girls with their little crop top ain't got nothing on you.
I'm going to wear this.
You are classic.
My daughter will be so proud of me when I take her to homecoming. Pull up, drop her off. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Because I would take the first one.
Isn't that crazy? That's my dad on the bottom. Oh, that is funny.
Mike, that's right.
Yeah, got a house shirt on. We showed Brian dressed as a lady. Oh, yeah.
Oh, careful though. Yeah. There's a really good one.
That would be Brian at a Halloween party. Those are breasts, yep.
Yeah. I don't know where they're at.
Oh, the worst part, that's us licking the breast.
Oh, sure.
For his
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that was just a move to steal my burger.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Welcome to that workout program.
This is what happens when you exceed capacity. You get an Audi.
Just like the turkeys. So what? To be fair, I might need glasses.
Two favorite college roommates here.
That's right.
I never graduated.
That's
I just went.
You zoom in, you
All
can
right.
see the mark went off the track.
Oh, no kidding.
All right. Oh, yeah. Well, let's start with Mr. Freundberger himself.
Could you be patient?
Pretty good. She told me to start.
What about Brian? What about for Brian?
You know what?
Here's another pair.
Oh, rhinestones. These are mine.
Bedazzled.
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
Hey, this is what it feels like to be on The Bachelor, by the way.
Hi. Single. My phone number is.
This is the part where you get the hand slap you on the back of the head.
Oh, is that what I was supposed to come in?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, look at this
Cue
stud.
the slap.
Look at that stud.
Look at that. So in the video,
We'll stop
Gage,
here.
do you know you chew your bottom lip? Like a nervous, like tick?
Brian. Yeah.
So there's a part where you're standing against the wall and I'm like, I could be looking at Brian.
Yep.
Really?
Like he stands there and he goes,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's talking about when I, no,
your dad,
okay,
your
yeah.
dad. I'm like, am I looking at Gage or am I looking at Brian? Very exactly.
Oh, goodness gracious. Come on, we got it.
Come on, Jeff, what are you doing with the X-rated one?
Mr.
Shovel nose in the bottom.
Come on, tell me that's not your boy. No sleeves. Yeah. Hey, come on. No sleeves, big hair.
Oh, my.
Huh?
Pass it down.
Yeah.
That's fine.
She edited it.
Yeah, somebody's like, wow, there's a lot of pictures of girls in you in here. Like, why do we still have these?
No, that's Brian. That's not a girl.
Oh, that's Brian.
What did your mom call Brian when you guys went to Texas?
Oh, Bon Frony a couple times, but
John Don Frony?
No. Oh,
Frony Muff?
Her gigolo son.
Her gigolo son, right.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Can you see that? Can you see Brian in there way in the back with the short shorts? Oh.
Does Brian have pants on in this picture?
Man, they're so high up.
I'm trying to figure out if that's a purse.
He's carrying a purse, man. He's carrying a purse.
It is a purse.
Brian has a merch before a merch was popular.
What?
Before it was
A merch, a man purse.
When was it popular?
Oh, a merch.
A man's purse.
All right, well, we gotta be able to stream that.
It looks like you're giving her like.
I'll be darned.
I gotta go get glasses.
Look at the shades, more like.
Where'd Brian go?
Oh, that's a great picture. That is.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Here, there's that ski trip I was talking about. We're all in.
Where the hell's Brian?
He went up to
Went up to
get
get the album.
album.
Brian, for one thing, and then he's coming.
No problem.
It's gotta be.
We're about done.
This is short.
Oh.
Hey, this is no different than waiting him to like leave for school in the morning.
Or just get ready in the morning.
One moment. Yeah, that son of a bitch
Comes out and freaking
late.
butt ass naked in a towel.
January
Late
16th.
for
All right, I gotta look for the January 6th.
Break.
Yeah, look at that. Look how Mike sticks his stomach out like he's.
I think that's your float trip.
I'm doing my Jeff
Senior
imitation.
camping trip?
Oh, have you seen these shorts? Where's Gage? When you're talking about shorts, huh? That's illegal in most states. What your dad just got on here.
Check out the grunge look there. The grunge look there.
Cloud thing.
I'll
send it to you.
All right,
Look at that one.
send that around. Send that around.
Look at the grunge look.
Oh man.
Short shorts, fanny pack, and polo with the sleeves.
Where's the merce that we figured out you invented? Hey, we said you invented the merce.
It's gangster.
No, we well, whose Fiero was that we always take out?
That's
my high school, my college girlfriend.
That was
That's right.
It was your girlfriend, wasn't it?
And this
Maybe.
No, we did that here in high school. This one?
No, remember?
No, the Fiero.
Oh, the Fiero. Chrissy had a Fiero.
We used to take our little Fiero.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll send you pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Told you his hair was bigger than half.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
dude.
so I want to know, was it Aquanet or was it Rave?
There's the boots.
Oh.
That held the hair.
Remember those boots?
Yeah, you had little spurs on the back of them.
Hey, look what I found.
Or was that when he was a
Oh.
Oh, yeah, you found it.
Yeah. Hey, right here.
That's
Oh
awesome.
my gosh.
This was us three.
That's awesome.
In
I want a picture of that.
Our senior year in high school.
That's awesome. And Jeff still has his jersey.
Yeah. You know which one I am, because
He has it on right now.
Yeah. They retired his number. No one should ever have to wear this ever again.
Gager. That's how skinny I was in 9th grade.
9th grade, you were.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh, you know what that is? That's Dad. What they're calling a man purse? That's your old camera case. I was carrying around.
Sure it was, Brian. Camera case. Yeah. It was your purse.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, as they say.
We should go before or after.
Dan had
This is before. This is after.
Gage, you look like you broke the family curse. Congratulations. Good luck with Bad taste.
Wow.
Was that you growing up?
Was that you growing up, baby?
Whenever I look like that.
That's when Brian and I first met.
Yeah.
Brian,
I think you took these pictures.
Yeah.
Why are the pants so cute?
Yeah, that's when Brian and I first met.
Where's this
Why?
at? You're all in it.
Okay, so this was our bachelor. This was his bachelor party night. Yeah.
Where's that at?
Actually, it's the only picture you guys freaking took
was
of him
Halloween.
before our wedding, before he got dressed. And I was like, oh my God, that's the only picture somebody took of you all day. And he's like, yes. I'm like, that's terrible.
That's okay.
That's
Imagine
terrible.
how many they would have gotten had they had these. I know.
I was like, this is it?
It's a lot.
No pictures.
Big hair. Big
That's
hair.
hilarious.
Should critique that.
So this was the night before Dad and I tied the knot.
Thanks, Gene.
He decided to go out and have a little bit too much drinky poo-poo. This is Dad and his volleyball techniques, even early days. So do you remember at volleyball at all the vacations where Dad like kills himself and scars himself up for life?
Oh, because you dive. You play hard volleyball.
He is nuts.
That you go.
When we went to Mexico, my knees were bleeding on both of my knees because I kept diving for the ball.
His knees were bleeding after the first day, so the second day he dived some more. Oh my God! And I'm like, something's wrong with you.
Nice.
Yes.
Sonya, is that everything?
So
He still owns and wears this shirt to this day.
There's some more stuff over
Which
there.
one?
Literally.
Grab a tissue. Oh, he's got some.
I just have this, but it's not going to be easy to talk emotionally and otherwise. You know, it sucks to be where I'm at right now, but, you know, having to say what I have to say, but, you know, I just want you guys to know, which I know you do, that's why you're here tonight. But I mean, you know, the people in this room, besides my family, obviously, who I've always loved, but I love these guys like brothers because, you know, we've been so close since like 2nd grade, you know, and these have been my core friends throughout my whole life. The people that you can always fall back on as friends. You know, we never strayed. We never, you know, everybody went their own way for college, you know, but here we are, you know, 30, 40 years later, still sitting here, you know, and calling each other best friends. You know, we have so many memories, you know, that I'm sure we all still talk about, you know, when we talk about old times and, you know, oh, I used to do this or do that, and we used to run around and pretend, you know, that we were an army or whatever in the woods behind our house. You know, I mean, it's just the silliest little things. But I can remember just all the way back, you know, to riding bikes, you know, to Bull School, to, you know, I mean, I just have so many memories, you know, with you guys, and it's just been incredible. You know, before football games, you know, I remember so many memories of us all hanging out and having dinner and going down to the park that we were just talking about, you know, down at Rockwood Reservation, you know, just so many good memories. Staying the night, you know, my kids still don't believe me. When we were kids, we would stay the night with somebody, one person, you know, or maybe 2 people at the most. It was never, these guys have like 10 people over and they think that's not a party. They tell me all the time, that's not a party, that's just my friends staying the night. I'm like, we stay the night, we let one person.
Two.
You know? They have like constantly 6, 10 people over all the time. I want to also thank Mr. and Mrs. Sire for coming out too, because you know what, I know a lot of our parents can't be here. You know, I know some of us have lost parents as well, and you know, but even them, I mean, there's so many memories, you know, of growing up and being part of those families, you know, and being treated like part of those families. You know, I can't tell you how many times, you know, we stayed over your house in the basement or whatever, and we'd get yelled at because it'd be too late at night, we're making too much noise or something, you know, but
I said I was going to Brian's house. Like, it's 5 minutes away. I'm like, no, it's not. Look, we can walk. I'm like, no, we got to drive 45 minutes right now.
No, you wake up in the morning and said, I'm going to Brian for what? Gonna have breakfast. They're making pancakes. You said, yeah, you always come to your house for breakfast.
I remember that. My mom made pancakes for all my buddies. That was like 6th grade, yep.
Is that where you
awesome.
get to make the pancake thing?
Probably, yep. I've always loved to make pancakes for my kids. So.
That is definitely a tradition of ours.
We had morning birthday parties because I think you worked nights
At
at that
that time,
time or something like that. So we would have a birthday party for
That's
Brian
awesome.
before school.
Anyway, guys, I just want to say I love you guys. You know, every one of you.
We love you, buddy.
You know,
John,
I mean,
thanks for coming in.
Yeah. You guys have been a big part of my life. So, yeah, and thank you for making that trip, brother.
Love you, man.
So, love you too. So, anyway, I just wanted to say that. So, all right.
Cool.
so many people. They'll never forget that. Most importantly, we know that we're going to be able to look up to you and say, at least thank you for giving him the life that you did, and thank you for taking care of him until we get to see you and him again. I just pray that every member in this room, because we're all related, knows you, knows your son Jesus, accepts Jesus as their personal Savior. Brian may leave us today or tonight, but he will not die. He will be with you. And that's what we have to look forward to. The good news is Jesus will see that we are all together for eternity. No more death, no more pain, no more suffering, and only love. And that's what we have here today. Is a family that loves each other. Strengthen his wife, strengthen his children, strengthen his dad and his mother, and all of us that claim to be brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers. We thank you for giving it to us. And we thank you for bringing this group together today. And may Brian know somehow how much he has been loved and how much he is being loved right now as we send this prayer to you. Give him the peace that we know he's got right now, knowing that soon he'll be with you. And give us the peace that we know that he's there. We love you. Thank you for loving us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Gage Froneberger, parents for Brian and Donna Froneberger. Gage has participated in football, is an honor roll student, and plans on attending Mizzou and majoring in health science.